Good morning and welcome to Morning Motivational Rant. I am your host, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and with me as always is Crystal Morency. Good morning, Crystal. How are you today?
Good. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dino. How do you do?
Super
You're wearing
awesome.
your Deadpool shirt, which I love.
Yeah. It says all I want this year is tacos. All I want this year is tacos.
Tacos.
There's never a bad
Does
time
that
for
mean,
tacos.
Tacos used to mean vagina. So,
I believe they
when
still
everybody's
do.
like, all I want is tacos, all I want is tacos, all I want is tacos, I'm like, And I even see girls posting it, I love tacos. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Everybody loves vagina.
You know what? It's the
Yay,
funny thing
vagina.
is, no, I don't think that's it. I think they actually are talking about tacos a lot of times because it's funny that you would bring that up. I was thinking about this earlier. Was how everyone changes, right? Like your perception changes when you get new knowledge. It's the same thing. Whereas like somebody says taco, and I'm like vagina. That's the assumption, right? But then, yeah, that's you know. And I remember one lady. We were talking at work, this is years and years and years ago, and she was just the worst type of person. Like, she was the type of person that she was older, but she was like, oh, my name is, her name could be also spelled with an S and not just a C. And, but if you had the version with an S, then she would be like, ew. And you're like
mine. Crystal with a K and Crystal with a C.
Crystal with a K is not a human being. She is a sex bot. Okay?
It's faking it.
She's a sex bot. That's what she is.
She's faking it.
Definitely.
That fakes it.
So the funny thing is she made a statement about something about gay men. And I said, you think that's confusing? Who wins in a taco fight? And she's like, who wins in a taco fight? And I'm like, and she's just like, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. I'm like, I didn't say anything. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But, and she's just like,
see, and then when you say taco fight, though, the first thing that popped in my mind was two people throwing tacos at each other.
Yeah, whereas in a man's mind, it's boop, boop, boop. That's what it is.
Scissoring.
Because we're
seeing when you just say tacos, like in general, because when people started posting all those taco stuff, I want tacos, Bubba, it's Taco Tuesday. I really kept thinking about vaginas. But when you just said a taco fight, literally that just popped in my head was two people throwing tacos at them.
I think.
So the taco situation, it can go both ways. I get it now. You just justified it for me.
The best part is that it's like, I think it's commendable that when you think of a taco fight, violence to a vagina doesn't come into your mind. I think that's a good thing.
No.
I think that's, yeah. You say taco fight, I
don't
don't
want
think
there to be
about,
violence.
two vaginas attacking each other. Like, that would be.
I think of actually like beef and lettuce and tomato and sour cream and salsa being thrown at somebody in a tortilla shell. That's what goes through my head.
I'm going to lose my mind today, people. This is going to be fan-fucking-tastic.
We are 3 minutes in.
We're 3 minutes in, and we have already covered the discussion on taco fights.
The meaning of tacos.
The meaning of tacos. I just put up quotation marks around meaning.
Yep. Meaning it.
Oh, man.
So, Dino,
What's
any good stuff coming up for you?
You know what? There's been a few things that have been mentioned. I'm still on lockdown. Victoria's not. She wasn't happy with. So this is the problem. We went up north for that show, and I did horrible. Yeah. But at the same time,
No, we didn't.
The problem was that people there, nobody was wearing a mask except for us. Even there were times when I was getting ready to go on stage, I took my mask off, and people were like, "Hey, psst, let me tell you something." And I'm like, "Seriously, dude?" Like, and the funny thing is, one comic was like, "Hey, you know what? Thank you for at least being the one person who maintained responsibility that whole time." I'm like,
Yeah.
Whatever, what are you going to do? So when we were coming home, Victoria was very unhappy with me because of that, right? It's a risk to our family and everything, and we got to be careful. And the problem is that it's not, I trust my friends in the comedy community to being cognizant of that kind of stuff. But throw some booze, maybe a joint into the mix, and all that shit just goes out the window. And that's why I'm like, you know what? Honestly, one of the biggest things that I miss right now is, number one, traveling. I did want to go away earlier this year, and we were supposed to go in March, and just everything went to shit immediately. So, but then the other side, it's like, was like one of the big things that we do is we go out to eat with people, and that's one of our big things, because we don't really have the environment to bring people over for dinner, and that's the thing is, but we like finding new restaurants and trying new foods and stuff like that. So that's our big thing, and we can't do that, right? So, and that's why people are like, oh, well, you can just go to the patio, and you're like, no, it's not that. I don't want to be around, because these people are being so selfish about everything that they're like, well, I can just do whatever I want, and you're like, you know what? People need to start getting punched in the fucking head. Well, that's it, right? Like, people need to start getting punched in the face for their insolence. It's, you know what? If you're not going to be considerate for your own family, you should be considerate for your neighbor's family. And if you're not going to willing to do that, you gotta get a punch in the face by somebody. And that's why it's like, and also too is, there has been a few circumstances of Asian racism in Toronto, and which is fucking ludicrous. Like, honestly, the lowest of the low is someone who's like, go back to China. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you, okay?
Why do you deal with the white political parties that are the ones having a lot to do with this as well? How about we deal with that? Wait, actually, as a white person, I'm like, fuck, we're getting enough hate right now.
We're not going to do that.
I'm like, wait a second. Please don't do that.
We're definitely not doing that. You said it, and I was like, are you fucking crazy right now? Have you lost your fucking mind?
I can't even. I know it's hard to leave the house